Hi everyone, it's me again, Sky. Today I'm going to analyze a video game about the meaning of a mechanic within a game. The game they have chosen for today's topic is The Last of Us. The Last of Us is an action-adventure survival horror video game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. The player controls Joel, escorting the young Ellie across a post-apocalypse United States. The player uses firearms, improvised weapons, and stealth to defend against hostile humans and zombie-like creatures infected by a mutated strain of the cordyceps fungus. The first mechanic I would like to analyze in this game will be the listen mode. Listen mode allows Joel and Ellie to use their sense of hearing and spatial awareness to more effectively locate enemies. It works by showing the player silhouettes of characters through walls and barriers, outlining them in white. Basically, if a player refuses to use the listen mode during the game, the player will definitely punished by the enemies. It's related to our real life situation too. While listen mode is just like advice from our parents, while we as their child can choose to listen or ignore their advice. However, whenever we choose to ignore their advice, we have bigger chances on failing on certain tasks or incident. So the listen mode is just like teaching us to observe and listen before we make any decisions in our real life. Besides that, the second mechanic that I would like to talk about will be the workbench mechanic in the game. As Joel acquires weapons, tools, and parts, he can use them to make his weapons more powerful, such as faster reloading and adding a second gun holsters. In order to make upgrades, Joel needs the right numbers of parts and tools to make them by accessing the workbench. This particular mechanic is just like our real-world situation, as the workbench symbolizes the opportunities we have in our life. While the workbench only appeared in certain locations throughout the game, it works just like the opportunity we have in our life, as we don't always come across opportunity that can make us move further ahead. While using the workbench required tools or parts is equal to the self-value of an individual. It simply means that even an opportunity came in front of an individual, he or she need to have efficient self-value or knowledge to improve themselves. Same with the concept of upgrading the weapons in The Last of Us. Eventually, when we cover crafting mechanic, we have to cover the inventory mechanic too, because in Last of Us, they have one of the most realistic inventory mechanic among all the games. While the game would not pause when the player accessing the inventory, it's just like in our reality that the time would not wait for us. Let's relate it to our time management. As a player, we must know when to access the inventory. Just like in our real life, we have to manage our time well, as we have to allocate the right time for us to take some rest. Besides that, in Last of Us, players have limitation on how much resource they can carry. This emphasizes the player to use those resources with care and cautious. Related to our real life, that we have to use our time wisely, as we cannot chase back our lost time. Meanwhile, the third mechanic that I would like to share will be the generator mechanic in the game. A generator is the power source used to power certain things in The Last of Us. In order to get a generator working, the player needs to pull the generator handle 3 times by precisely pressing the triangle button at a certain point. The player can find the generator by following the yellow wires that lead to the generator. The meaning that I learned from this mechanic will be in our real life, even an opportunity brought in front of us, we need to make an effort to catch that opportunity and make use of it. Just let me make a much clearer example. The elevator in the game that need to be powered is just like our result of our subject, while finding the generator are much more like our effort to get a good result for a subject. However, while failing to press the button at the right point while pulling the generator handle will cause the meter to empty, and the process must be started again, reflected the reality that we have to retake or resit the subject after we fail a particular subject. That's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you.